Have you ever thought about what really counts as you grow older? When I transitioned to a nursing home at 81, I believed I had a clear idea of what was ahead. However, after spending a year in that place, I came to understand that growing older brings unexpected twists. There are experiences that are uplifting, others that present challenges, and some that profoundly transform my perspective on life. In this video, I'm excited to share 7 valuable insights I gained after spending a year in a nursing home. These lessons could be beneficial for you or someone you care about as you navigate the journey of aging with wisdom and grace. Some of these insights could validate your existing beliefs, while some may question your perspective on aging. By the end of this video, you'll gain a richer perspective on what it truly means to embrace aging, and perhaps you'll view your future in an entirely fresh way. Stick around until the very end, as the final lesson is the one that truly transformed my perspective, and it could revolutionize how you view your own journey through aging for good. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, now's the perfect time. Don't forget to turn on notifications so that you won't miss any of our future content on aging wisdom and living well. All right, let's dive in. First off, loneliness is something you can choose, not something you're stuck with. When I initially settled into the nursing home, I anticipated experiencing loneliness. Years ago, I experienced the loss of my spouse. My kids were caught up in their own worlds, and many of my longtime friends had either left this life or relocated to distant places. I thought that feeling lonely was simply a natural aspect of aging, something I would need to come to terms with. After spending a year in this place, I've discovered something that has totally shifted my viewpoint. Loneliness isn't just a state of being. It's all about making a decision. I've noticed 2 distinct kinds of individuals in this area. Some individuals spend their days in solitude, hoping for a visitor, believing that they are overlooked and unimportant. Then there are those who stroll through the corridor, share smiles with others, initiate conversations, and actively seek to be involved in the community. The distinction between these 2 groups lies not in their situations. Their perspective shapes everything. I once encountered a woman named Margaret who imparted this valuable lesson to me. She was all alone, with no relatives around and no one coming to see her. And still, she radiated joy like few others I had encountered. I inquired about her secret to maintaining such a positive outlook. She chuckled and remarked, "I knock on doors, I gather around bustling tables, and I never sit idly by for joy to come my way." I set out to find it. That really resonated with me. I gave a shot. I decided to step out of my room and greet people in the hallway. I jumped into a card game, despite not having played in ages. I reached out to individuals to learn about their experiences, their loved ones, and the narratives that shaped them. And something amazing occurred. My universe expanded. The more I share my work, the more engagement I receive. I was fully engaged now. I was cultivating connections. I discovered that loneliness isn't simply about being by oneself. It's all about the decision to remain unplugged. Opportunities to engage, share a laugh, and build connections will always be present. However, this is contingent upon our willingness to seize the opportunities. If you're feeling lonely, take a moment to reflect. Am I just waiting for someone to reach out to me? Am I making the initial move? The reality is, those who hesitate frequently find themselves feeling isolated. However, those who take the initiative to connect discover friendship, meaning, and even happiness. Independence diminishes more quickly if you allow it to. Upon my initial visit to the nursing home, I noticed a recurring theme. Individuals who previously had the ability to manage tasks independently gradually ceased their efforts. A man named Richard, who had always been robust and independent, began seeking assistance with even the simplest tasks, activities he had managed on his own for his whole life. Initially, it appeared to be innocuous. However, in just a few months, he started to lose strength, confidence, and became increasingly reliant on those around him. Honestly, if you stop utilizing your skills, you'll begin to see them fade away. I discovered that staying independent is a conscious decision. It's often simpler to have someone else serve you a cup of coffee than to take the effort to pour it yourself. Opting for the elevator is definitely more convenient than putting in a little extra effort to walk those few additional steps. However, each time you choose the simpler path, you sacrifice a bit more of your power, your flexibility, and your identity. Once you let it go, reclaiming it becomes almost unfeasible. That's the reason I established a personal guideline. If I have the chance, I will make it happen. Even if it takes me a bit more time. Even if it feels a bit awkward. Even if I think it's unnecessary. I opt for the stairs whenever possible. I get myself ready every morning all on my own. I get up and take action, even when motivation is low. It's not about showing anything to anyone. It's all about cherishing what I possess for as long as possible. Growing older doesn't strip us of our autonomy in an instant. It unfolds in small instances, minor choices that appear trivial in the moment. However, as time goes by, weeks, months, and even years, these things accumulate. I've noticed individuals surrender their autonomy without even being aware, just because they didn't put up a fight to maintain it. So if you're still living independently, don't allow convenience to undermine your potential. Get moving, reach out, elevate, rise up. Anything you set your mind to, keep pushing forward. Once you hit pause, you begin to drift into a space where assistance becomes necessary for everything. That's definitely a situation you want to avoid. If you're still tuned in and appreciating these insights, drop a number 2 in the comments to show me you're with me. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, now's the perfect time. Don't forget to activate the notification bell so you stay updated with all the latest content. Your support enables us to keep producing engaging material that informs and inspires you. Let's keep pushing ahead. 3rd place. Health takes a hit when routine vanishes upon my arrival at the nursing home. I observed something unusual. Some residents appeared vibrant, lively, and fully engaged, while others seemed to diminish, losing their spark and enthusiasm for the world around them. Initially, I believed it was solely a health issue. Some individuals just had a greater level of strength than their peers. However, as time went on, I came to understand that the true distinction lay in something completely different: consistency. I encountered a gentleman named George, a retired educator in his late 80s. Each morning, without fail, he rose at the same hour, groomed himself, dressed smartly, and enjoyed a brief stroll before having breakfast. He maintained a structured routine for reading, connecting with others, and staying active. He was quick-witted, attentive, and exuded a captivating energy. Then I encountered individuals who completely lacked any kind of routine. They rose whenever it suited them, bypassed meals, remained in their spaces, and allowed the hours to drift away. The contrast in their mental and physical well-being was unmistakable. I discovered early on that both the body and mind thrive on having a solid framework. Without it, everything begins to fall apart. When we lose our motivation to rise, to act, to connect, our bodies become sluggish, our thoughts dull, and our days start to blend into one another. I've witnessed it occur repeatedly. Individuals who once flourished may begin to fade away when they lose their motivation to remain engaged. I set a guideline for myself. Having a plan for each day is essential. No matter how I feel, I push myself to get up, take a shower, and put on my clothes. I schedule times for eating, for diving into books, and for some light exercise. I always try to take a moment to get outside whenever possible, even if it's just for a brief time. I engage with others consistently at the same time each day, nurturing those relationships. It's not just about staying occupied. It's all about being actively involved in the journey of life. Getting older isn't solely about the physical changes we experience. It's all about how we spend our time each day. Those who abandon structure frequently lose their creative energy. However, individuals who establish and adhere to a routine, regardless of its simplicity, tend to remain more alert, resilient, and vibrant. I've witnessed it firsthand, and I can assure you, if you aim to maintain your independence and stay true to yourself for as long as you can, establish a routine and commit to it. It might appear insignificant at first, but in the long run, it truly adds up. Your mindset influences how you perceive your journey. Upon my arrival at the nursing home, I thought the residents who seemed the happiest were those in the best shape. able to walk with ease, enjoying regular visits, and free from significant health issues. However, I realized I was mistaken. Many of the healthiest individuals I've encountered seemed unhappy, always grumbling and fixating on their losses. Interestingly, some of the most joyful individuals were those facing significant challenges. Those in wheelchairs, individuals dealing with memory issues, and those who had outlived their dearest companions. What was the game changer? Mindset. I encountered a remarkable woman named Eleanor, who is 86 years young. Despite her struggles with severe arthritis, which makes movement challenging for her, she carries a spirit that is truly inspiring. She had the option to dwell on the struggles, the obstacles, and the injustices surrounding her situation. Every morning, she welcomed everyone with a bright smile, inquired about their well-being, and always took the opportunity to spread a little kindness. She shared that true happiness isn't determined by external events. It's all about your perspective on the world. That really resonated with me. I've encountered individuals who faced far fewer challenges than Eleanor, yet they were filled with bitterness, perpetually fixating on their losses and measuring their lives against what they once were. The reality is, if you dedicate all your energy to what has passed, you will miss out on appreciating what remains. Growing older introduces transformations. That's just how it is. What we decide to concentrate on truly defines our experience. Each day, I tell myself that I can choose to dwell on what I've lost, or I can appreciate what remains in my life. I can choose to focus on the challenges I face, or I can appreciate the opportunities that remain available to me. I can choose to be shaped by my past, or I can fully embrace the moments that remain in the present. I've discovered that happiness isn't just a random occurrence. It's a craft we develop, a skill we hone. The individuals who thrive as they grow older aren't necessarily those with the most favorable situations, but rather those who cultivate a positive outlook. If you start each day anticipating negativity, that's exactly what you'll encounter. However, if you start your day with the intention of discovering something positive, you will surely find it. It's honestly that straightforward. If you're still tuned in and appreciating these insights, drop a number 4 in the comments to show me you're with me. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, now's the perfect time. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss any of the latest uploads. Your support enables us to keep producing engaging material that informs and inspires you. Let's keep pushing ahead. Number 5, family visits can be a bit of surprise, but it's the friendships that really keep you going. When I initially settled into the nursing home, I believed that visits from family would be the most exciting part of my days. Initially, they were. Watching my kids and grandkids share their experiences brought me so much joy and anticipation. However, over time, the visits started to dwindle. Life became hectic, plans turned intricate, and there were times when weeks slipped by without a catch-up. Initially, it was painful. I found myself in a moment of anticipation, wishing for a call that never came, leaving me feeling let down. That's when I realized something. The people who spent all their time waiting for family visits were often the loneliest. But the ones who built friendships inside the nursing home, they always had someone to talk to, always had a reason to smile. That was when I realized family is important, but friendships are what keep you going. I met a man named Albert. He had a son who lived 2 hours away and only visited once every few months. But Albert never seemed sad or lonely. Every morning, he had coffee with a small group of friends. He played cards in the afternoon, shared meals with people he cared about, and always had someone to laugh with. One day, I asked him how he managed to stay so positive despite not seeing his son very often. He smiled and said, "I stopped counting the visits and started counting the people who were here every day. That changed everything for me. Instead of focusing on when my family would visit, I started focusing on the people around me. I made an effort to sit with different groups at meals, to check in on my neighbors, to join in on activities, even when I felt like staying in my room. And the more I did, the less lonely I felt. The truth is our families love us, but they have their own lives, their own responsibilities. And as much as they care, they cannot always be there as often as we might want. That is not a reflection of their love. It is just life. But we can choose to let that make us feel forgotten, or we can choose to build connections right where we are. I have seen it again and again. People who sit and wait for family visits often feel disappointed. However, individuals who invest time and energy into building friendships, engaging with their community, and creating connections with those around them tend to flourish. Ultimately, love transcends mere familial ties. It's all about the people who are present, who genuinely care, and who bring a sense of connection to your life. Frequently, it's not the ones related to you by blood, but rather those who walk alongside you through life. At number 6, the past comes alive, yet the present holds its significance. One of the most peculiar aspects of aging is how the past begins to seem more vivid than the current moment. I can recall moments from my early years with vivid precision. The aroma of my mother's cooking, the tunes that filled the air from the radio, the joyful sound of my best friend's laughter during our childhood days. However, if you were to inquire about my lunch from yesterday, I might need to pause and reflect for a bit. I've seen this in others as well. Chats in the nursing home frequently meander back to yesteryears, sharing tales of former jobs, youthful romances, and the way life once was. I get it. The past feels like home, a warm embrace of nostalgia. It's a space where we thrived, where our presence mattered, where existence felt more expansive. However, there's a risk in dedicating excessive time to reflecting on the past. It can lead us to overlook the fact that we are still present. I once encountered a guy named Frank. At 89 years old, he had a remarkable ability to recount tales from his youth with incredible clarity. Yet, that was the sole focus of his conversation, the past. He always stayed on the sidelines, never inquired about others' lives, and seemed completely detached from what was happening around him. It felt like he had made up his mind that his journey had reached its end, despite the fact that he was still breathing and present in the world. Next came Helen. At 84, she cherished sharing stories from her past, yet she always embraced the present moment without hesitation. She had an insatiable curiosity, constantly exploring and experimenting with new ideas. I recall her saying, "I have more yesterdays than tomorrows, but that doesn't mean today isn't important." That really resonated with me. Nostalgia truly is a treasure. It takes us back to our origins, to the lives we've crafted, and to the experiences that have defined us. However, it must not be sacrificed for the sake of the future. There are still chats to dive into, dishes to relish, connections to forge, and experiences to embrace. Things might not be the same as they used to be, but life is still unfolding. Focusing too much on the past can cause us to overlook the beauty and opportunities that the present has to offer. Absolutely, share your narratives. Reflect on your most memorable moments. Embrace the moments that bring joy to your soul. Remember to take a moment to observe your surroundings, stay involved, and continue embracing life. Regardless of the years we've accumulated, the present moment remains significant. If you're still tuned in and appreciating these insights, drop a comment with the number 6 below to show me you're with me. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, now's the perfect time. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you stay updated with all the latest content. Your support enables us to keep producing engaging material that informs and inspires you. Let's keep pushing ahead. 7th on the list, little joys can create a significant impact. As time goes by, it feels like your universe begins to contract. The epic journeys, the significant milestones, the professional triumphs, everything that once shaped your existence now becomes a chapter in your history. What remains are the daily experiences, the ordinary habits, the little details that occupy your time. What I've discovered after spending a year in a nursing home is that the little things hold more significance than you might realize. I've noticed how some individuals experience true happiness in the little things. A cozy cup of coffee to start the day, a beloved tune softly playing, or the warmth of sunlight streaming through a window as they relax. There's this incredible guy I know, Harold, who's 82 years young, and his face just beams with joy whenever he gets his hands on his beloved butterscotch candy. He has a small collection tucked away in his drawer and is always ready to share with anyone who drops in. It may seem trivial to many, but for him, it's a cherished routine that offers solace, a sense of belonging, and a touch of joy. I have come to appreciate these moments for myself. The first sip of hot tea in the morning feels magical, accompanied by the cheerful sounds of birds outside my window and the warm greetings of friends in the hallway. In those quieter times, it's the little moments that truly shine and make the day memorable. I witnessed it. Those who welcome them, who relish them, who pause to enjoy the little pleasures in their surroundings are the ones who find the greatest satisfaction. Conversely, I've noticed individuals who concentrate solely on what they've lost, the journeys they can no longer embark on, the dishes they can no longer savor, and the activities they can no longer participate in. As they concentrate on what they lack, they become blind to what remains within their grasp. That's the moment when resentment starts to settle in, when the days feel hollow, and when nothing appears to spark happiness any longer. The reality is, joy doesn't always stem from the grand moments. At times, it's simply about enjoying a delicious meal, engaging in a thoughtful conversation, or savoring a serene moment of tranquility. When you start to value those moments, everything around you shines a bit more, regardless of your location or the phase of life you're experiencing. Now inhale deeply. Take a moment to observe something subtle in your surroundings at this very moment. A sound, a scent, a flavor, or a sensation that brings you even the tiniest spark of happiness. Keep it close. Ultimately, it's not the grand moments that give life its significance, but the little joys that make every day enjoyable. In conclusion, after spending a year in a nursing home, I've come to realize that getting older is more than just the passage of time. It's all about how we decide to embrace the time we have ahead of us. Freedom diminishes if we allow it to. However, by remaining active and involved, we retain more than we realize. Being alone doesn't have to be your destiny. It's a decision. The more we engage, the stronger our sense of connection becomes. Routine is more than just a method to fill the hours. It serves as the essential base that maintains our physical and mental strength. Your mindset shapes your reality. The most joyful individuals I've encountered aren't necessarily those in perfect health. Rather, they're the ones who choose to concentrate on what remains in their lives rather than what has been taken away. While family visits might not happen all the time, the bonds of friendship can bridge those gaps and provide consistent support. The past is something that will forever linger in our lives. However, if we focus solely on the past, we might overlook the opportunities that are still ahead of us. Ultimately, it's the small moments, the morning brew, the shared laughter, the sunlight pouring in through the window, that create the most profound happiness. Remember, life continues even when circumstances shift. There's always space for connection, growth, and happiness, as long as we're open to embracing it. We appreciate you being here with us today. We can't wait to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and tell us one thing you discovered today and how you intend to apply in your life. We value your opinions, so feel free to express them. Your feedback truly inspires and uplifts us. If you found this video enjoyable and useful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support enables us to keep producing engaging content that informs and inspires you. We appreciate your viewership and can't wait to catch you in the next installment.